Bloody War, Tong's body, open door. Tong's body. Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognizable, and what is left of his body would be best described as savaged. All of his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of the Wampum Elder. The Wampum's clothing has all but been reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears, apparently sustained during the flaying. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fiber optics of his cyberware. Goblet puts a hand over her mouth, speaking in an uncharacteristically serious tone. Sweet heaven, SCKC, I haven't seen anything like that since Auntie Wong tried to stash some crit sticks in a devil rat's nest. Auntie Wong tried to stash some crit sticks in a devil rat's nest? What happened? Did the rats kill your auntie? It takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. Hold on. What happened to Auntie Wong? Curious. The removal of the skin speaks to a deliberate pathology, some manner of serial killer. But the severed limbs seem much more savage. You'd have to be very strong to tear those off. Rector gestures at the body impassively. Look, parts of him are missing. That's very curious. Rector is very observant. The removal of skin speaks to a deliberate pathology, some manner of serial killer. So he thinks removing the skin is just unnecessary. They're doing it for fun, basically. Severed limbs, so they have to be very strong. They have to have some sort of pathology. And also body parts are missing. Spellcasting or conjuring. Use astral perception to sense the body. We don't have Biotech 3, otherwise we're gonna have... Alright, I'm gonna sense the body. Taking a deep breath, you allow your senses to expand into astral space. The colors of the room bleed away, replaced with the vibrant lights and emotions of the spirit world. Surprisingly, no emotions of fear or anger pervade the room. The abiding emotion the room is steeped in is one of perfunctory satisfaction, as if someone had accomplished an important task. It would seem likely that Tong was surprised. If he was not, it would be certain that you would feel lingering fear within the room. So he died before he even realized what's happening. But the person who killed him wasn't driven by anger. Wait. Rector's murder bot would do something like this, right? Did Rector do this? Whoa, really? Goblet takes a moment to center herself and stares off into space. Shortly thereafter, she shakes her head and looks back to you. That's strange, SCKC. You're right, though. He definitely didn't see it coming. Isn't this the sort of thing that Rector's murder bot would do? The murder bot has stabby arms, right? Or stabby legs. Have Rector examine the body in detail. Rector takes his time examining the body, taking small notes on his PDA. Curious. No subdermal bruising where the skin's been removed. No sign of a struggle. Coagulation of blood and lividity marks a time of death between 2 and 4 hours ago. No subdermal bruising where the skin's been removed. So the skin's removed after they died. No sign of a struggle. I mean, he died immediately. Coagulation of blood 2 and 4 hours ago. The knife marks are methodical. The killer doesn't seem to have been interested in preserving the skin as any kind of whole. It was removed a bit like one fillets a fish. The path of least resistance. Some of the strips of skin have a more ragged edge than others. The ragged edge looks consistent with a claw rather than a blade. Rector seems like he seems too good at this. Have you done this before, Rector? Rector makes a curious noise as he examines the remnants of Tong's face and neck. His neck's been severed between the 5th and 6th cervical vertebrae. Scoring across the bone indicates a bladed weapon, and a sharp one at that. Doesn't match any of the other wounds. Okay, so maybe... So his neck has just been cut. And given that... So he died from that, probably. He probably died from just getting his head chopped off. And then the dismembering happened afterwards. With a different weapon. Because the knife that cut off the head doesn't match any of the other ones. Rector stands and looks you directly in the eye. If I had to guess, I'd say he was killed with the blow to the back of the neck. Everything else was subsequent damage. Why would someone kill him and then skin him? Honestly, I have no idea. Perhaps whatever did the rest of the damage was secondary, an action of opportunity or the like. Without further information, I'm not comfortable guessing. Alright. So he was... If they just wanted to kill him, he was killed immediately. A very strong, very sharp cut to the neck. But then either the same person or same thing or something else came along and mutilated the body afterwards. Alright, leave the body alone. But why? Do you think they cut the tech out of him? Did he have implants? Did they take his implants? Bloody war. The walls are covered in splattered and smeared blood, most of which has hardened into a crusty, congealed paste. Thick tracks of it run laterally. It looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. Thick tracks of it, so it's like sideways. Those blood patterns aren't natural, as you can see. The smearing here wasn't done by Tong. There's too much blood. The killer must have spread the blood across the walls deliberately. Yeah, no, we established that Tong died immediately. Why the hell would they do that? Perhaps they are like many serial killers. They see their actions as a ritual or as a work of art, and the victim's body was the medium in which they were working, or maybe they're just crazy. Or maybe it's magic, Rector. Maybe it's some sort of magical ritual. Man, I've seen a lot of crazy people in my life, but I've never seen anybody crazy enough to think they were going to make a Mona Lisa out of someone's teeth and guts. Thank the heavens for that too. So, the Aztec guys? The Aztec guys worship South American gods who demand human sacrifices. As technology. I don't know if this is some sort of blood magic. It could be. Open the door! Huh. Search bathroom. Tong's bathroom is immaculate and the drains are tiny. Whatever killed him didn't exit through here. They also didn't clean up in the bathroom. Right? They didn't... Right? Because they made such a huge mess. How would they leave? Like, you can't just walk out the front door covered in blood, right? They didn't clean up in the bathroom. So how did they leave? How did they get out of here without being spotted? Desk safe? Tong's desk drawers are open, and the safe that's built into one side has been opened. There's no sign of tampering, and the green light next to the word unlocked is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with a key fob. Inside are several blank crit sticks, but no sign of any with money on them. The safe has been opened. Looks like someone's looted his stash. A guy like this wouldn't keep only empty crit sticks in his safe. We should ask the other elders what he had in his safe. SimSense editor? This is a Yamaha 95000V SimSense, a device for mixing and mastering SimSense chips. Several drive bays are empty and all of the chip jacks are empty. The screen is flashing a repeated error message. Warning, requested files cannot be found. Please return drives to bay and try again. The SimSense drives have been taken. Have Isabel debugged the SimSense? Isabel rattles out some commands on the SimSense keyboard, stepping away after a few seconds with a look of satisfaction on her face. There. I've put the drive warning on suspend. It's in diagnostic mode only though. Maybe we will learn something, maybe not. Yamaha SimOS 5.23 system diagnostics check. Memory OK. Drive error. Assist bus OK. Beginning code done. Please wait. Isabel studies the screen in detail as letters and numbers scroll by. Looks like Tong was cooking some BTLs here. He's hacked the peak controller output cutoffs. The delta levels on sim chips are usually about 4 to 5. 6.5 for Cal Hots. His delta peaks are pushing 12. That's brain-burning territory, SDKC, and all the drives and chips those BTLs were stored on are missing. Uh-huh. I never liked Tong, but it wasn't because he was a bad guy. I just didn't like any of the elders. But if he was cooking chips at Delta 12, maybe he burned somebody he shouldn't have. Maybe they flipped their lid and came after him, or a relative did. Isabel gives you a serious look, tipping her head at the synth. The meta-human brain can't handle this kind of output. It will shut down after a few of these. Huh. He's making dangerous sims, which presumably have been stolen, like the drives are stolen, the safe is open and emptied. There's more than one person or more than one being involved, it seems like. Right, because it's very different. The thing that would methodically hack the safe and take the sims is a very different being from whatever smeared blood on the walls and ripped the body to shreds. It seems like they're two very different things. Porter Lamb. Hey there, need anything else? Looks like somebody went through Tong's things. Has anyone else been inside? Not since I've been here, but before Yip found him, could have been anybody really. Yip had a key to his place, but the lock's total crap. Anybody half decent at cracking maglocks could have gotten inside. What's missing? His BTLs, hard drives, and crit sticks are all missing. Sounds like the killer looted his place to me. All this talk of monsters, yeah sure, there are scary things that go bump in the night, but most of the scary bumps I hear are from handguns and gangers. But they didn't loot everything. Like, the front of the store was untouched. What do you do around here, Porter? It's a catch-all category, I guess. I work for Elder Yip. It's a bit like being a deputy. I make sure people don't break the rules, protect people who need protecting mostly. I just do whatever Yip asks me to do. It's a pretty quiet job most days. Today's not one of those days. I also handle a lot of maintenance. I don't actually do the repairs, but I've got most of the keys. It makes it easy to ensure only authorized people get into sensitive places. Electricity goes down, and let in the electrician who fixes the wiring. Toilets clogged, I let in the drone guy who opens it back up. Alright, so he's just facilities and security deputy. Who are you? Zippy. This orc is busy snacking on a steamed bun. As you approach, he wipes off one of his hands and sticks it out towards you. Hey stranger, nice to see you. Sippy toe tag at your service. How are you liking Wompo Gardens? Yes, CKC, nice to meet you, Sippy. Nice to meet you too. Listen, I know it's a little forward of me just to say hello and whatnot, but I'm interested in giving you a hand if I can. Sippy gestures expansively at the squalid neon-lit streets of Wompo Garden. This is my home, at least for the time being, and I'd like to stop these killings. Alright. We have never met before this, but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The elders had me autopsy what was left of Elder Gan and Elder Nakamura after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. Oh, you were you were supposed to fix this problem and you didn't do it? So since I don't know you, and I can smell a Shadowrunner a mile away, you've got to be the outsider they asked to stop the killings, right? This was your job? Zippy tilted his head back, obviously pleased at his amateur deduction. Very astute, that's right. See, I have good news, a lot of good eyes. I've got good eyes, a lot of good eyes actually. If you're in the market for replacements, only slightly used, and they only come from certified donos, I swear. I have good eyes. A hearty bitty laugh erupts from the orc, and he slaps one of his thighs in elation. Man, I killed myself. Don't kill yourself. That was awful. Pretty funny. You're a stand-up comedian? With jokes like that? Are you kidding me? I'm one of the only trained surgeons around here. I keep the other Wompons healthy. Gotta practice down the road. Blind Chen's a pretty good cyberdoc, but he's basically an implant specialist and that's it. Alright, how do you end up here? I did my residency back in the UCAS. Could have become a real MD too, if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reasons. Sippy opens his coat, revealing a cyber deck. He pats it proudly. I also deck a little, but I'm better at slicing skin than I see. Wompo Gardens seemed a good fit to me. So is it fairly peaceful around here? For the most part, other than these killings, we don't have much by the way of problems. We do information security for the Triads, and that makes us fairly impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. Anyone starts something, we hit him in the Matrix, while our Triad friends hit him in the meat space. Some small-time gangs have tried pushing in here before, but they backed off when they figured out they weren't just picking a fight with Tang and his guys. But with both the Red Dragon and Yellow Lotus. They got the message real quick, what was left of them anyway. Alright, you must have a lot of customers. That's the chip truth. I have to charge to cover my costs and eat, but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list, but it's good, honest work. I like helping my neighbors and the community. We all look out for each other. Somebody messes with one of us, they mess with all of us. That kind of community is rare as gold these days. How many places have an ethos like that? Not the damn corpse, that's for sure. I lived a lot of places, done my fair share of shadowrunning, but this place is special. It's been a long time since I really felt like anywhere was a real home. Sippy looks off past you towards the Wompo Garden streets. His expression grows wistful, like he's remembering something from a long time ago. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. I'm not done with this city or these people. Alright. Let me ask you about Wompo Garden. Sure thing, what do you want to know? What are your thoughts on the murders? There's a sharp intake of breath as Sippy shakes his head. Pretty gruesome business. Gan died from a broken neck. Looked like someone had wrenched it around, and his arms and legs were cut off. Some skin flayed away too. Right, so the arms and the legs and the skin is common. This neck was wrenched, not cut. Nakamura had his throat ripped out by someone with pretty sharp teeth. At first I thought it was a devil rat, but the teeth marks were all from something with a humanoid jaw. I didn't look at you Tande. From what I saw at a distance, it was the same story. Didn't seem much point since I'd seen it twice already. Alright, so attacking the neck. No, but there was like, there's wrenching, and then there's the teeth, and then there's the knife. So they go for the neck, but there's 3 different ways of killing. As for Tong, from what Porter told me, it was Gan and Nakamura all over again. You take a look at him yet? Yeah, it's the same as you described for the others. But it's not quite the same. Sippy shakes his head sadly. Damn, I like Tong. The BTL business is unsavory, but the man had to eat, and his regular sims were great. Generally all-round nice guy, friendly with everyone, never had anyone mad at him. There ain't no justice, let me tell you. Looks like Tong was killed by a blade, not a broken neck or a bite. Zippy recoils, shuddering against the rain. What kind of blade? Was it a knife, a sword, maybe an axe? Probably not an axe. I don't know, but he was attacked at the back of the neck. I don't like that at all. Zippy shivers, looking warily around. This whole affair's got me on edge. People dying is nothing new, but the flayed skin, After a moment, Sippy composes himself and looks back at you. It sounds possible that whoever's been killing the elders is trying to muddy the waters with all the blood and gore business. This is the crime of an intelligent, careful killer. Be careful. This investigation might take you somewhere very unpleasant. Sippy sure knows a lot. I'm thinking it could be him. Given how much he knows. And like the twisting and the biting, those might be lies. Like he might be trying to throw us off the trail by giving us false information. That's possible. I'm not saying that's what I think is happening. That's a possibility. That he's the one who did it.